Echinacea. So we've got orange sunset, vintage lime. Oh, that's Rudbeckia, or Rudbeckia, Penstemon. And then we've got the golden yellow. We've got a Ceanothus. And we've got a vintage lime. So we'll put the other lime. We'll put that in the border somewhere. Yeah, somewhere at the back there, I think, like that. Yeah. And then we've already got a Penstemon in there, so that'll go in at the back. We'll put the other vintage lime, the Rudbeckia, at the back, and then the Dianthus I want in that corner there. So we're going to get that done. This Dianthus was a £5. Yeah, quite a substantial size one. It was a bank holiday special. 6 for a £5. And other than the Rudbeckia and the Penstemon, which are for the back garden, all of those are Echinacea, and as we all know, Echinacea's not cheap. That's the Ceanothus. I'm not sure how you say it. Just I've got the lime Echinacea there. I've just done a little bit of deadheading of this rainbow. I think it's a Dianthus. I think it's called Rainbow or something. I just took some of the seed heads off. It's a very, very pretty flower. I'm sure it's a Dianthus. The neighbour over the road has just shouted at me and said, "Oh, do you want this cupboard? Could be your allotment." I thought that's too good for up at my allotment. Really nice cupboard. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but it's been granddaughter day, so we've been out. I haven't filmed because she wasn't in the best mood, but I did call at this garden centre and got 5 perennials for a £5, 6 perennials for a £5. The Ceanothus, as I call it, that I've wanted for quite some time, for a £5 in the reduced section. And then we went to Dunelm and got some cot bedding and stuff like that, which is what we needed, and a new curtain pole, which is also what we needed for DIYing that we're doing at the moment. Granddaughter is having a sleep. We're having a cup of coffee and planting plants. This is a really old pine cupboard, and somebody's chalk painted it, but I will just sand off because it's just chalk paint. You can see it and just sand off the drawers there. I've got the key to it as well. Actually, really easy. I've been using all my sanding blocks and everything, so I'm kind of a bit scrapping about for sandpaper at the minute, but if I had decent sandpaper, I'd pretty much get this top would be off quite quickly. can see, just doesn't take long at all. Harvested a few pears this morning. That's Rudbeckia in there. Variety is Goldstrum. My future self. And then we're going to we'll put the Penstemon here. Now you can't see what I've done there, but this is all fallen over, and I've not spotted it fall over. It's knocked all the plants, and I've just bent over, and that there is just stuck straight in my eyeball. So now my eyes all running and I can't see. Violet. Look at the hose pipe while I tend to my runny eye. I'm not having a good morning. We've moved the stair gate at home and I've stubbed my toe on that this morning as well. You know, when you're not used to something being there, I'm not used to it being there, obviously. So I've walked into the stair gate this morning and stubbed all my toe. Proper one of them days, anyway. So we've got Penstemon down there, Violet. So, see if that does anything there. I will get a bit of a mulch to put over the top of them, keep the water in. We've got the Rudbeckia there. And these tomatoes are all finished. There will be a bit more room there. Seed heads off. And dry them out. In one of those mornings today where I'm just full of bad luck. And I'm going to be honest, I've really neglected the allotment this week. Not that there's always stuff to do up there, but nothing urgent. But, you know, you just start other jobs, and I'm not sure about anybody else, but I'm the kind of person that I do start a lot of jobs and don't finish them. Kind of my thing. We all have our thing, don't we? I do finish them, they get finished eventually, but there's never halfway through. I tend to move on to the next job and then go back to that first job. Kind of how I do it. Everybody laughs at me. Now the only reason I'm really doing this is because I do grow chamomile up at the allotments. I have it everywhere really, and it self-seeds very easily. You don't tend to need chamomile seed really. It kind of self-seeds itself quite readily, but you never know. Other than the three Echinacea, everything's in now. Give it a good drink. We'll keep doing that. We put some other perennials in the front earlier on in the year. That's the gap filling video. I'll tag that onto the description for anybody that's interested in perennials. And right, so that's left me from the perennial lovely going when the tomatoes are finished and there's a bit more room. I think that's enough. I'll let them dry out. Like I say, I very rarely buy these seeds because you don't really need them. The plants produce more than enough. So we'll let all those dry out on the windowsill. Always better when you're harvesting your seeds, folks, to not water your plants before you do it. I don't know why I do it. I think what it is I've started watering and then I think, oh, I'll do that job. So I've always got wet seed heads. And then obviously you're taking the risk of them going mouldy. You can't get them dried out. Right, let's go have this cup of coffee.